Well, we got to love the ever-changing landscape of the American economy. I was going to cover something else today, but I thought this was a little bit more important in pertaining to everybody's money and what they spend their money on. I'm going to cover a quick clip covering the fact that the Trump tariffs got blocked by some federal judges. Finally, about fucking time. So let's just jump right into that and check that out, eh?
A federal court has just blocked President Trump from imposing sweeping, wide-ranging tariffs on imports under this emergency powers law. The ruling comes from a 3-judge panel, and it comes after several lawsuits arguing the president has exceeded his authority under the law. He can't just widespread do this. Now, one of those lawsuits...
And that is very true. Trump cannot just widespread set tariffs just because he feels like it, okay? We have what's known as the power of the purse, which means Congress has to vote on it. You know, people that we voted into office, Congress has to vote on where and if we're going to raise tariffs on who, for what reason, in order to protect goods in America being made, or retaliatory tariffs because we don't like somebody, putting sanctions on something or an embargo on Cuba or whatever. That all has to go through Congress. However, I will say that Trump may or may not listen to him, because he could always just pull the old presidential thing that has not been pulled in quite some time. You and what army? I mean, at the end of the day, he's the one with the goddamn army, not us. Let's carry on with this video.
Suits came from California Governor Gavin Newsom and AG Rob Bonta, who argued that the president did not have the legal authority to do what he's been doing. These judges agreeing with the rationale that California's leaders and others have put forward, saying that tariffs must be approved by Congress. President Trump has said that he has the power to act because the country's trade deficit amounts to a national emergency, which gives him widespread authority. So that...
And that is complete and utter bullshit. The fact that we have trade deficits does not have anything to do with Trump's authority to place tariffs on other countries. Trade deficit does not mean we're getting screwed over. It means these poorer countries are buying less from us than we are buying from them. Just like I have a trade deficit with Walmart because I go and buy groceries from Walmart and they give me things, you know. I have a trade deficit with Taco Bell because I really like Taco Bell, but Taco Bell doesn't really like me, so they give me food and I get fatter, and, you know, it's a win-lose, you know. Taco Bell wins because they get money, I lose because I get fatter, you know, whatever. But that being said, trade deficits are not bad. Trade surpluses are not, you know, necessarily good. You know, we have a trade surplus on media in the world. We have Hollywood here. We have New York City that produces things. We have Georgia that produces films and things of that nature. And all of them get shipped off all over the world. We do not consume an equal amount of media from other places, being Bollywood or the UK or wherever. But that's not a bad thing. You know, it's just a trade surplus. We give them more crap, they give us less crap, you know, either way. But let's carry on with this video.
That is going to be a very interesting legal battle going forward that has very big implications for all of us in what we pay every day. Meanwhile, more legal news here. A federal judge...
P. Diddy, that escalated quickly. We're over here talking about, you know, trade deficits and stuff, and then it get just right over to P. Diddy. Okay, let's somebody, will you get me the lube? Somebody oil me up. God damn. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about the Trump tariffs that got knocked down by the federal judges. Very good thing for the country. I cannot stress that enough. This is a very good thing for the country. This tariffs are so bad under Trump that even his followers are like, yeah, this kind of fucking sucks. Like, yeah, we might get a recession, but we just got to see and wait what's going on. We don't really know what's going on yet. We're just going to have to see what the big man's doing. He's cooking. Art of the deal. And, you know, They're starting to call Trump taco now. Trump always chickens out. And he is not a big fan of that. I just wanted to throw that out there, that trade deficits are not necessarily bad. Surpluses are not necessarily good. Across the board tariffs that Trump was doing at 10% across the board, plus all the other ones that were going to go into effect very soon as it was. Yeah, those across the board tariffs are ridiculous and they are horrible for the country. I'm glad some federal judges are finally stepping up, but it's really going to come down to the Supreme Court. Are they going to bend the knee to Daddy Trump? You know, just another glaze fest because, you know, Trump's the one that got three of the 9 in there somehow because, you know, Mitch McConnell's a fucking demon, but, you know, that's a side note right there. That's a little bullet point in the tails. But let me know what you think about across the board tariffs. Do you feel that it was okay that these federal judges knocked down Trump? Or do you think Trump should have kept cooking? Art of the deal style, you know? You let me know. Anyways, like the video if you like the video. Subscribe would really help the channel grow, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.